Aries, hello my loves, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm here to pull you some cards. I am going to have a quick look. Well, I say quick, it'll probably take about an hour. You might want to make yourself a cup of tea. I've got one. We're going to look at past energies, current energies, and where those energies might be taking you, bearing in mind everybody has free will, you and other people, okay? We don't really do hard and fast predicty tarot here. It's more about, like I say, where the energies are taking you, what concepts and ideas might be useful for you to understand. We'll try and ask some useful questions, just to help you maybe try and get an understanding of a situation so that you can make better decisions. You know, free will is a thing, yeah? Okay, forewarned is forearmed and all that. It's a general reading. I'm not pulling on any particular area of life. Whatever comes through in the energies is what comes through, really. To a certain extent, it is for you to take the energies that I speak about and apply them to your life, your situation, as you see fit, okay? So I might be speaking about the energies in terms of romantic relationship. You might see the energies more in terms of a friendship or a job, like a career thing. But, you know, sometimes specific things do come through, and I do say that where possible, but you'll get the idea as we go along. You'll see the way I do it. You may like it, you may not. I'm putting on collective Aries energy, okay? It's a trip. It does mean not every single bit will necessarily resonate with you. It is quite likely that there will be certain bits that resonate with you and certain bits that don't necessarily quite apply to you and your situation. Just take a moment before you start watching to tune in with yourself, tune in with your body, tune into your own intuition, okay? So when I'm talking about the energies, the way that hits you tells you something, okay? Gives you something to work with. Yeah, take what's yours and leave the rest, basically. Right, let's get you some cards with all that being said. I'm really hot all of a sudden. Okay, let's look at past energies then for Aries, please. Past energies for Aries. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Temperance reversed. Some sort of delay here in the past with a new opportunity. And the Ace of Pentacles is a solid new opportunity. It could be a new opportunity regarding your career, but really anything that you wish to put time and effort in order to invest in yourself, in a way. In the past, a new opportunity such as that is showing up. However, it's in reverse, which to me felt like weak energy or incoming energy anyway. And then we get a Temperance in reverse. I'll show you it upright because I do like you to see the cards wherever possible. But it did come out in reverse, which to me feels like a delay. Yeah. But it does feel like a solid new opportunity, so I wonder what that is for you guys. So just so you know, I will pull 3 cards for each line, past, current, future-ish, with my Thelema deck. So that'll be 9 cards, sometimes more comes out. And that will give you kind of an overall surface level read of what's going on with on the surface energies. You might find that's enough to hear what you want to hear. That normally takes about 20 minutes, and then I go under with some other decks. We'll see when we get there, and I get further clarification, further details, try to ask some useful questions for you. That's the way I tend to approach these readings. Okay, so just so you know, that's why they take an hour, because I really like to dig, because I'm nosy. But also it's more useful for you guys, right? One more card for past energy here for Aries then, please. I say one, I get 2. I get what I'm given. 5 of Cups and a Page of Swords. Okay. So this new opportunity may be a new course of study for some of you. The Page of Swords is telling me that. You're certainly very curious and interested in this particular Ace of Pentacles, whatever it means to you. However, for this new door to open, I'm seeing that something else needs to be left behind. And whatever that is, it feels emotionally painful to you. It feels like a loss emotionally. So I wonder what that is. And I don't quite see this new thing coming in just yet anyway. Like I say, there is a delay on it. I think to a certain extent you might, well, we'll see how it resolves in your current energy, but in this past energy there is a little bit of a feeling of being in limbo. There is quite a lot of curiosity and excitement tied up with this Page of Wands card, I feel. So I think that's sort of getting you through in this past energy. But there is a bit of a sense of limbo because I feel like you've had to say goodbye to something and now you're waiting for this new thing to come in, but it's just not coming in yet how you were expecting it to, but it might do in your current energy. Let's see your current energy and see how that's resolved, if at all. Current energy for Aries, please. They were quite insistent, weren't they? All right then, 3 of Wands. You see, you are continuing to wait in your current energy. It's still not quite the right time for this new thing to come in, this new thing to start. I don't know if some of you have literally set your mind on a new course of study or a new job, but it just hasn't started yet because, you know, it's just not the start date and you're impatiently waiting for that start date. I don't know. Others of you, I don't feel it is quite like that. I feel like you've not been offered that job yet, or you've not been accepted on that course yet, and you're waiting. But you anticipate it. I feel like you anticipate being accepted. I don't know. It's like, even if you've left something behind and you haven't got something new lined up just yet, I feel like you've got a confidence here that the universe has got your back. I don't know, this 3 of Wands to me feels very, well, it's coming in. It's going to happen. It's coming in. I know, you know, this ship. It's always about waiting for your ships to come in. I feel like there's an Aries here who's saying, well, I know this ship is coming to shore. It's taken a while, but I know it's coming in. Don't I? I don't know if there's just a little bit of doubt creeping in with this reverse Wheel of Fortune. I don't even think it's that, though. I think maybe there's been a bit of a bad luck surrounding this new opportunity making its way to you. Whatever it is, I don't know, maybe you've arranged the interview a few times and it's had to get cancelled because someone's been ill, something completely outside of your control, something like that. But I don't know, there's just such a strong sense of knowing that it's going to happen despite the odd bit of bad luck that appears to be attached to this energy. So this feels like a first meeting. It could be an interview or a first date even. Like, this whole thing could relate to a romantic situation equally as it applies to a job, to be fair. For some of you, I feel like there's more than one offer coming in, be that romantic or career-ish wise, you know? Because the 7 of Cups is here, and the 7 of Cups often comes out when we've got multiple options. And I feel like it's kind of multiple options that you feel you can put your emotional energy towards with this 3 of Cups. There's a beautiful flow of emotional energy with this 3 of Cups. And I feel like you've got lots of avenues and choices as to where you could pull that energy, or at least you anticipate having a lot of choices. This is a whole heap of confidence here for you, Aries. That's interesting. It doesn't feel arrogant, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it's my time. It's like you're saying to me, Aries, it's my time. I'm going to get this thing. I want this thing. I've worked hard towards this thing. It's about time for this opportunity to be realised. Yes, this, that and the other's got in the way, but it's coming in. It's coming in. Even more than one thing is coming in. And I'm going to have so many choices and so many opportunities. Cool. I'm down with that. Pentacles. I don't know why I didn't take that just because I wasn't really tuned in. I tend not to. Might make its way out again. I don't know. Queen of Pentacles. You see, the Queen of Pentacles gets what she wants. That would make perfect sense. So let's see what's happening in your future energy then, Aries. Yes, there she is again. She really did want to come out, didn't she? Isn't that funny? I just put her back in without thinking because I hadn't tuned in. I guess the universe was like, well, you shouldn't have done that, Natasha. Because here she is again. Beautiful energy. Yeah. She doesn't want for anything. Look, she's carrying that pentacle. She's carrying that pentacle from the Ace of Pentacles. It's come out right underneath that ace via the Three of Wands, which is you saying, well, this is going to happen. I just know it's going to happen. It's on its way to me. I'm drawing it towards me. And then there she is. She's got it. And for some of you, it could be like an actual investment, like an actual monetary investment you've invested and you know it's about to bear fruit, whatever it is. Because she's just so full of abundance, the Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like you're going to feel quite kind of satisfied when this thing that you're, I don't even want to say hoping for, because it's beyond hope. It's like you just know it's going to happen. You have absolute faith here, Aries. And when you get it, when the thing that you are expecting, anticipate comes in, I can feel you in your future energy, just really enjoying it and really basking in it, whatever it is. Feels really nice. You know, there's just a feeling of achievement almost, or satisfaction, contentedness about this card. It's just like, oh yeah, my efforts have paid off. I'm just going to sit down and have a nice, well, in my instance it'd be a nice cup of tea. For you it might be a nice glass of bubbly or something. I don't know. I don't really drink. I'm not like totally teetotal, but it's not good for me because I get horrendous migraines. And I am recovering from one now. Hence your reading is later than planned, so sorry about that. Unfortunately, it's never going to be super scheduled on my channel. The readings are going to come when they come because my health just gets in the way. Okay, future. Tell me more for Aries in the future, please. Oh, good. A reverse Ace of Swords. Interesting. And a Five of Wands. So, there's some sort of lack of clarity in your future here. I don't know what it relates to. Oh, I must look at the bottom of the deck. I keep forgetting to do that. Page of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck. I'll talk about that in a second. What's going on with this future line? I'm seeing this Ace of Swords reverse as a slight continuation of this Seven of Cups energy. There's a slight bit of confusion creeping in here and it's carrying through into this future energy. I think. There's just a lack of clarity about something. We might have to wait till we clarify. You might not feel that you necessarily have all the information to make the decision in the future, or to make a decision in the future. I'm not sure. This Ace of Swords almost feels quite separate though. Could it be about something else entirely? I do not know. I do not know. Five of Wands. This is conflict. This feels like an external energy to you. I don't know. I feel like you sitting in this Queen of Pentacles energy is caught in the future, is possibly going to cause some sort of conflict. It feels like jealousy. Feels like jealousy. You've got something here that somebody else wants. And it just doesn't seem right or correct to them that you have it. We'll get onto that later. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. We will see. So looking at the overall energy of the reading, I look at the middle cards and the bottom of the deck. Page of Pentacles and a reversed wheel. I just see this as you continuing to invest in something, this Ace of Pentacles most likely, despite what could be viewed as a sort of run of bad luck, which I think pertains to having to cancel plans because of like something out of control, like health or something like that. But you're like, well, it's okay, I'm just going to keep giving. And not loads, not over giving, not like in a controlling, I'm going to make this happen way, oh, I can control the weather, I can control people's health type of way, but it just in an appropriate, measured, consistent, sort of little bit, diligent. I'm just going to keep giving to this situation correctly, as and when it needs it, as and when it feels right, in a way that goes with the flow, not in a way that goes against the flow. It's like this bad luck, because the wheel is all about the playoff between sort of fate, destiny, you might call it, and your free will. And I feel like you're kind of seeing that balance quite correctly, seeing that you cannot override certain things, and sometimes when it's in reverse you could say that you're not going with the flow, but it's just not coming through like that at all. It's like, you know, the flow has been interrupted by external factors like health or weather, something like that. You know, when I feel these energies, it's collective and it's hard to give super specific examples, but that's certainly an example that would fit the energy, if you know what I mean. So I'd love to know what's going on in your personal situation that these energies are relevant for, because it will be different in everybody's different lives. But some sort of recognition that yes, that flow does seem to have been interrupted, but it was no one's fault. It was out of my control, it was out of their control, and if I just keep giving to this situation as and when it requires, then we can get things flowing again, kind of correctly, kind of in a way that is respectful of, it feels very much like the Strength card actually. It's very much being respectful of things out of your control and just going with it as and when you can. Right, let's get underneath some of this past energy for you. It's nice. The pages are just coming through. You've got 2 pages in your reading and they're just coming through so sweet in your reading. Just really kind of enthusiastic, giving, curious, open, kind of like, not childish, but kind of like that childlike, it's almost like there's a childlike faith that just everything's gonna turn out as it should. And even to the point of being accepting of, well, it might not be exactly as I want, but it will be as it should. And all I have to do is turn up and give appropriately and keep that flow going as and when I can, and not go against any sort of flow. Very nice, Aries. I like that. Okay. Tell me more about this reverse Ace of Pentacles. I'm actually going to get onto both of these energies at the same time for you, Aries, because I just feel like this is a delay on an incoming opportunity in your past here. And has it resolved? I don't particularly see that it's resolved in your current energy. Sure, by the time we get to this Queen of Pentacles, I believe it's resolved in your future, but currently it doesn't quite look like it's resolved. So when I'm talking about these 2 energies, you might find I'm sort of blurring them together a bit, because they are blurring together as the way they're hitting me, if that makes sense. Anyway, tell me more about this opportunity for Aries and what it is and why is it delayed. Thank you. Two of Swords, reverse King of Swords, and a reverse Queen of Cups. All right, just give me a moment on that. So Three of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck. I feel this opportunity relates to a collaboration. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing this opportunity? Okay, because with this Three of Wands in your current energy, you know, I spoke about that confidence and it coming in. But I think that confidence is, it's almost like you're not seeing it actually, but you are feeling it. You're feeling it, but you're not seeing it. Look, she's got a blindfold on. You're not seeing it, but you're feeling it. I even don't think you're seeing it so much in this current energy. But you feel that something's coming on in, and it's an opportunity, and it relates to collaboration, and you've asked for it. And you've set intentions around it, I feel. We don't have a Magician out, but it does feel kind of manifesty. But we do have a Wheel, and the Wheel is quite a lot about co-creating with the universe to me anyway. I won't be surprised if we do get a Magician out, and I won't be surprised if we get a Strength card out. It's just feeling that way to me. Anyway, where was I? Give me a sec. No, because this energy of kind of grief, of loss, it's like you just know something had to be cut out in order to bring something new and better in. And you are feeling, it's like you're feeling, it's like you anticipate how you'll feel when this thing comes in, but you can't quite picture it. You can't quite picture it. There's a lot about collaboration here and the type of people you wish to collaborate with. And that's what's sort of blocking your vision a bit. I feel like I'm probably reading this in the strangest way, but it all makes sense to me, so let me just try and get it out, since that's the whole, you know, gig of what I do. You want to work with people with certain qualities. And apply this to your life as it sees fit. This might be about personal development, career. It might even be about romantic relationship. These are the type of qualities you want. These are the type of qualities in other people I believe you are even actively manifesting in this past energy. And like, I believe you can feel what it feels like to work with these people. So these people that are represented by the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords, although they could just be one person, but these are the qualities that I believe you are looking for in a new opportunity. And I believe you have left something behind where those qualities were not present. So you may literally have been dealing with an energy represented by the reverse of these cards. So this would be someone who is in reverse. This would be someone who's like, the flow of emotions not there. It's stunted. Because you are emotionally open. And also, I feel like you are quite in touch with your own sort of higher purpose, which I feel comes through with this King of Swords energy. And you want to find those same qualities in other people. I don't think you've met those people yet. But I think you are anticipating meeting them with the most beautiful confidence and faith in the universe here, Aries. So whatever the nature of this collaboration is that you have on your mind, that you're trying to manifest, it feels like you want to work with people who are just emotionally open, emotionally giving, understanding, empathetic, intuitive, but in a similar way that you are. I feel that you recognise where in yourself these qualities lie. Specifically, I think you're trying to manifest in someone who has excellent communication skills. And maybe that's to counterbalance something in you where you are very good at creating fire and passion and energy and ideas, but you don't always communicate it that well. I feel like you're wanting to manifest, wanting to work with someone who embodies those skills. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's the right words. You will have to forgive me. I am recovering from a migraine. I will get the messages out, but there is a certain amount of brain fog. But if I never do a video when I'm recovering from a migraine, you're going to probably get about 5 videos a month. And yeah, I think I'm still okay to do the readings. I mean, I hope they make sense. Maybe someone will leave a comment and be like, well, that made no sense whatsoever. But half the time when I'm doing the readings, they don't make sense to me anyway as I'm doing them. So this is nothing new. Right, 5 of Cups, what have you left behind? Because, yeah, I do feel like in this past energy, there's a kind of bit of a void here. It's like you've said goodbye to something that it's almost like whatever you've said goodbye to, when you're still mixed up with that energy, it is preventing the universe from sending you in something better, something that you deserve, so you've had to cut it out. Okay, tell me more about this 5 of Cups, what Aries left behind, please. A Knight of Cups. Flighty nighty. Those nights can be a bit flighty. 10 of Wands. It was a burden to you. Whatever you've left behind, it was a burden. And a reverse Strength. Yeah. I feel like this is someone who was quite overbearing. They didn't bring out the best in you. I mean, I did say about this Strength energy, didn't I? This kind of... the flow just wasn't there between the two of you. Or it was at one point, and it felt promising with this Knight of Cups, but it's not unusual for the energy of a knight to kind of end up fizzling out a bit, I find. Because knights can be so extreme and quite flash in the pan. And that's what this feels like. And I feel like you've cut that out. And it's painful. And it's an emotional loss. And it's sad. And you feel sad. But there's just a confidence here that something better's coming on in. And I believe you. Looking at your future line, I believe you. Although there is conflict attached to it. And I wouldn't be surprised if actually this links back to that now. We've got a bit more context. But we will see. Yeah, I feel there was a flow of emotion at one point and it stopped, and it's related to this Strength energy in reverse and this 10 of Wands. It started feeling burdensome for you, for someone else, for both of you, I don't know. It just wasn't working. The way the energies are hitting up against one another here, it just wasn't. Because I think you, Aries, have such beautiful skills regarding collaboration, partnership, working with other people. And somehow those skills just didn't come out in you because whatever they were bringing to the table, it was too much. It's like I can see a boot being stood on your neck. That's what this person ended up bringing to the table. I feel like they crushed you somehow, or it crushed you, whether it's the energy of a job or something. It doesn't feel romantic for most of you, but if that's how it applies to your life, take it that way. But it feels more like the energy of a job or a project, or people within a job or a project. I just feel like they crushed the life out of you. And you have got so many beautiful skills and qualities that allow you to work beautifully with other people, and it's like they just quashed it. So you made what I see to be a very wise decision, because you want to be in this energy upright and you weren't. I don't know if like you were a team leader or if it was your team leader, someone above you, or I can't quite get a handle on it. But there was a situation where it was someone's job to really bring out the best in people, and it just wasn't able to be realised because of someone. Oh, it was a feeling of micromanagement actually, as well. Anyway, tell me more about this Page of Swords in the past for Aries, please. This is something that you're curious towards. A Four of Swords. So there's quite a lot of curiosity here towards your own healing, actually, and I can see why you would feel a need for healing after this emotional pain, this emotional loss that's present in the Five of Cups, something that it looks like you sort of made a breakaway from, waiting for something new to come in. Maybe part of that it makes sense for part of that process to include your own healing. When we heal ourselves, we do make space for new, better things to come into our lives. It looks like that's the process that you're at least curious towards in this past energy. Oh, a Tower, a reverse Tower. Yeah, that's you doing a lot of internal work, Aries. Makes total sense alongside that Four of Swords. And I just think this is a beautiful attitude to have towards that work. Curiosity. Yes, hello, Betty. You're not even an Aries, she's a Taurus. Yeah, bringing a Page of Swords to this type of work is really beautiful, because you know, sometimes people have quite a tendency to be defensive about looking at themselves, looking at what needs to be healed internally within themselves. And I just think curiosity, that's it, go on down, I fed them and everything. Curiosity is such a great antidote to defensiveness. So I think that's beautiful, Aries, and I really like it for you. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, a reverse Five of Swords. Coming out of that energy. Let me show you it upright. But with it being reversed, I feel you coming out of this energy. You can see he's worn down. This is the energy of someone who's had that boot on their neck. What I see happening here. I do see you coming out of that energy and healing it, and going sort of internally, going inside your own self and looking at what needs to be healed in the aftermath of this. All right, let's look at your current energy now, because I feel a strong sense of you confidently anticipating something like, I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna get it, Natasha. It's on its way. Oh yes, it's delayed. Sure, it's delayed, but it's on its way. It's like, yeah, I know there's been a storm out there, but those ships are still making their way on in. I love your confidence, Aries. I love it. Let's have a look. This Three of Wands. What is Aries so confidently anticipating in the current energy? Oh, okay, no, those were reversed actually. A reverse King of Cups. What's that all about? Tell me more for Aries, please. Tell me more for Aries. An upright Three of Cups. We've already got a Three of Cups. Hermit. I'm just seeing this as you finding your people, Aries. I just really got this energy of you manifesting like the type of people that you know you can work with, and I feel like you've even thought quite distinctly about the qualities of those people. the qualities of the people that you want to work with, collaborate with, even enter a romantic partnership with. For some of you, I don't know. And I think some of this clarification has happened through interactions with people who don't display those qualities, and I feel that's what this Hermit and King of Cups energy is all about. This feels like emotional withdrawal, emotional shutdown, someone who's not very emotionally available somehow. So that could relate, to a romantic situation, but if it's more just a different type of collaboration that relates to more personal development goals or a job, it just feels like someone who doesn't want to hear other people's ideas, just shuts down at other people's ideas. It feels very my way or the highway. Like they have a certain vision and they don't even want anybody else to contribute to that vision, even if I get the impression like your role that you left behind, it was kind of your job to contribute to that vision, but they just didn't want to hear it. So you want to manifest people who you can have that flow of ideas, that flow of emotions, and you fully anticipate that happening, Aries, because you're like, well, I deserve it, I'm manifesting it, I'm working with the universe, and it's delayed and I'm still waiting, but it's coming on in. It's coming on in. I don't know, I just keep getting that for you. And you've got the Three of Cups twice, and it feels like a meet-up somehow. You anticipate meeting up with your people. Like, this could mean you've got a date fixed up, okay? It could be speed dating. This has so got the feel of speed dating. Why has that come through? That's crazy. But if it's not as specific as that, like, I feel like there's some event here on your horizons, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to find my people there. Like, it might be a conference or a political meeting. I don't know. But you're like, yeah, I'm waiting to go to this thing, and that's where I'm going to meet this type of person who can help me with this, and I'm going to meet this type of person who can help me with this. And yeah, it's been delayed, but yeah, it's happening. I don't know. I love your confidence. But at the same time, there's this attitude of like, it's like utter confidence that it's going to happen, but then it's like, well, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll be all right. It's a great attitude, Aries. Okay, the wheel, please. Oh, you can't make it up, can you? The first card out to clarify the wheel is the wheel again, and in reverse again. A reversed Emperor and a Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is very similar to that kind of Queen of Pentacles energy, or even mini Empress energy. It's the Nine of Pentacles. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get what I want for me. Like, this is what I deserve. I've invested in myself, and I'm going to get the return on my investment, and I'm going to be very comfortable when I do. I'm not sure about this reversed Emperor. I do feel that as your energy, so I do think there's something for us to explore here that feels like it might be a potential barrier to you achieving the success you hope for. And like, to be fair, what use is a reading if it doesn't throw up potential barriers? You know, this is why I say it's not super predicty tarot. It's not like, oh yeah, this is going to happen and it's going to be so hard. And no, it's more just like a case of things in the energy that do appear to be presenting themselves as barriers, just for you to think about and just to prompt your own questions about it and whether you could tweak things, you know? So yes, this reversed Emperor has got something to say for himself. Do you know, I don't think it's anything I've not already spoke about before in this reading around, and I identified it as something that you were being very good at, which is not trying to control things you can't control, because that's what the Emperor in reverse sometimes does. He can be overly controlling, he can be overbearing. I think, okay, this is what it is. This person or people you were dealing with that you had to leave behind, that's underneath this Five of Cups energy, that's a bit of a loss. There's certain characteristics that that person had, or that job had, or those people had, that energy had. And it feels, you know, I said they were overbearing. When you spent a lot of time with people like that, you can sort of catch fleas, if you know what I mean. You know, lie down with dogs and you catch fleas. You might have caught a few fleas from that person. So some of their characteristics may actually have somewhat rubbed off on you, which happens, by the way, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. And, you know, yeah, if you are in the company or having to work or in a romantic relationship with someone who is overbearing to that extent, it is sort of inevitable that some of those characteristics might rub off on you. And I do think there's just a bit of a possibility here that some of those characteristics might have rubbed off on you, and you sort of expressing those characteristics, it feels like it's not going to serve you particularly well. So I think that's just the kind of warning there, that's something to bear in mind, Aries. So I hope that's helpful for you, but take it if it's yours. If it isn't, it isn't. Oh, okay. I'm going to get onto this Three of Cups and Seven of Cups together, I think. I feel like there's going to be multiple opportunities for you coming up, hey? Possibly a bit of confusion here. I just feel a bit of a confusion. Feels like it's going to be quite busy. And you might not have time to get round and see all the things you want to see, or meet all the people you want to do at this kind of conference you're going to, or whatever it is. For some of you, it does feel like there's a big event on your horizons, that and you anticipate it being successful. Networking, that's the word. You anticipate doing a lot of networking, but it feels at times possibly a little chaotic, and just like it's going to be hard to plan to see and meet everyone you want to meet. A bit like when you go to Reading or Glastonbury and there's loads of bands you want to see, but there's quite a few clashes and you don't necessarily get to see all the bands you want to see, and then you're really hungover on the Saturday morning. All right, no, that's just me. Although, to be fair, with the Nine of Pentacles and all those grapes, I might be spot on. And with the Three of Cups, to be fair. That is a celebration drinking card. See, nothing that comes out in these readings comes out by accident, so some of you are hungover right now. Anyway, tell me more about this 3 and 7 of Cups for Aries, please. Anything else? I don't know if there's anything else I need to say. There may not be. Oh, the Empress. Oh, lovely. I mean, I said that was mini Empress energy anyway, and it is that, yeah, abundant. It's going to be really fruitful. Even if it's a bit chaotic, it's going to be really fruitful. She says, pulling the 3 of Swords. And the Knight of Wands. Well, oh, I love it when the Knight of Wands comes out with the 7 of Cups. Said nobody ever. It's just that the 7 Cups is quite scattered energy to me anyway, and then that reverse Knight of Wands, it's that scattered energy. This really is just reflective of what I've already said about it possibly being a bit chaotic and you not necessarily getting round to sort of make all the connections you hoped just because of the pure busyness of the situation. But it's a lot is still going to come from it. Do you know how I'm feeling this? The way I'm feeling this is, if there's a lot of beautiful connections in your current energy, if they're not right in your current energy right now, you are anticipating them. They're soon to be in your energy. And I think it's quite likely that that's going to cause you to reflect upon some past connections and really have a sense of emotional pain around those past connections, because forming these connections here that feel much more natural and flowing and beautiful is sort of going to highlight what was missing in those past connections, particularly what we spoke about underneath this Five of Cups. I'm not sure really you're going to feel that right away, though. This feels a bit more like over here it might be connected to this, actually, because it's even more like, I think there's a lot for you to build on in this current energy regarding connections, networking, whatever it is. And it's more going to be as you build on it, as you build on those connections, you're more and more going to feel a sense of grief over how you were treated in the past, basically. And in a sense, this Knight of Wands energy then may relate to you, because it may cause you to feel a bit confused and a bit flighty almost. It may almost cause you to, it sounds silly, but humans do this all the time, almost cause you to want to reject some of the beauty in these connections because it's so unfamiliar. And I do feel a certain amount of flightiness related to that past, well, related to that emotional pain that's coming up because of the past. So that's just something for you to watch out for, really, Aries. Like, if you're feeling really, let's say, loved up, so some of you it must be a romantic situation, but you know, if you're really feeling that beautiful flow of emotion and you start to feel a bit of fear, then maybe just think about what I've just said and examine within yourself if that's where the fear comes from. Is it because this feels so unfamiliar, and when I compare it to my past it brings up so much sadness about the way I've been treated in my past that I just sort of, it feels like quite a lot to process. And I do feel that could put you in a bit of a Seven of Cups reverse Knight of Wands energy, which can just be quite scattered, and you can sort of make quick fire decisions that don't serve you when you're in that energy. So just something for you to think about, and I wonder if that's what this is all about, but we'll see. Okay, let's go with the Witches. Let's go underneath this Queen of Pentacles in your future, Aries. Tell me more about this Queen of Pentacles in the future for Aries, please. Tell me more about this Queen of Pentacles for I can't speak. Reverse Queen of Wands. Do you know what? I am actually just reading this again as a contrast between how steady these current connections are, or current connection, whatever it is, how steady that connection is versus what you've dealt with before. It just feels like such a contrast, because reverse Queen of Wands isn't the best energy, I'll be honest. And you know, we've got reverse Knight of Wands here going to reverse Queen of Wands. It's like the recognition within you about how that past energy has affected you, and it feels like that past energy is kind of with you, somehow attached to you, somehow via this kind of grief. That recognition is growing within you from the Knight to the Queen. But what is also growing is the quality of this current / maybe upcoming connection for some of you, because we've gone from the Nine of Pentacles to the Queen. So it's like, so they're both growing together, which is kind of good in a way, but it also feels like it might become a bit overwhelming and sort of result in a sort of scattered energy. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, this reverse Queen of Wands tells me that whoever you were dealing with over here maybe was a bit of a faker sometimes. I don't know why I'm just connecting it back over there. That's just the way it is flowing for me. Just not the most authentic, honest person, and just oh, I don't know, I want to say party girl. I don't know why I want to say that. Someone who very charismatic, very fun sometimes, but then they can drop you like that. I don't know, something like that. Quite in-out energy. It's not steady, it's not committed. Maybe great bright sparks of ideas that sort of just don't get realised or don't go anywhere, or also they will run with them very unilaterally as well. Anything else about this Queen of Pentacles, please? The Hermit. Ah, okay. I'm quite heartened to see that, because we had a reversed Hermit here, which did feel like someone else's energy, but I feel like you're more getting in that Hermit energy in your future then. It feels like progress to me. Like in your current energy, you might be sort of doing the beginning of being quite introspective about all of this. And I think introspection to a certain extent is what you need with this sort of Three of Swords, emotional pain relating to how people treat you in the past coming up, which is underneath that tower, interestingly enough. So that, yeah, it does feel like stuff is coming up to be purged. And currently you might not be quite in the energy where you can quite listen to and deal with that. But if future-wise here, yes, I see you being able to shine a light on that pain and kind of purge it in a healthy way. Anything else underneath this Queen of Pentacles? Oh, it's that reverse Knight of Wands again. It's what I've already said then. I was already connecting it, this whole thing, to that reverse Knight of Wands, and it's come out again. So a lot of introspection about the way you've been treated in the past and how you deserve better. And yes, that's going to feel like grief. Five of Cups, it's going to feel emotionally painful, yeah. Okay. Anything else for Aries? This Ace of Swords and this Five of Wands. Interesting, interesting. There's still some sort of lack of clarity here in your future. And I don't know what that pertains to. What's this Ace of Swords here for Aries? Why is the Ace of Swords in reverse here for Aries, please? A High Priest. A Seven of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups. And a Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, which takes me right back up here, which is where I was going with this anyway. Oh, sorry. This situation became stagnant. There was a lot of potential, you know, with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. The situation that you've had to break from, you're still not entirely clear on why it stopped working. That's what your Ace of Swords is about in your future. There was some sort of level of commitment involved in this situation. That's why the Hierophant, or the High Priest in this deck is showing itself. I mean, some of you it could have been a marriage, but for most of you it just feels like something that involved a certain level of commitment, potentially the signing of a contract. So it could have been like a job. But it's like it grew so far and then it hit the Seven of Pentacles. And when stuff stops at the Seven of Pentacles, it's really tough. So what I mean it stopped at the Seven of Pentacles is, it's like there was a beautiful honeymoon stage, and this doesn't have to apply to a romantic relationship just because I'm saying honeymoon, and I don't think for most of you it does. The beautiful honeymoon stage ended, and it's like, okay, so how do we take this forward? How do we grow this? How do we continue this? We've planted a few seeds. How do we nurture them? How do we tweak things? How do we prune this bush so that things can keep growing in the right direction? Well, they stopped growing. Things became stagnant, and you still have a lack of clarity about that. And that's showing up in your future, and it's causing you conflict. Because you had a lot of, you see, Wands, Five of Wands, this is passion. You did have a lot of passion towards this situation, and for you to now be in this energy of being unclear about why it stopped growing, that's very painful. I feel that for you, Aries, I do. I'm wondering what questions I can ask, what clarifications I can try and make to try and help you. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're ever going to really know, to be honest, Aries, because I think you can examine your side of things and look at your own behaviour and look at what you may or may not have been able to have done differently. But you're never, I don't necessarily know that you're truly going to have an understanding of the other side of things any more than you've already got. Because it feels like they're quite shut off from the situation, whoever they are or whatever they are. But you know, so all that passion that you've got towards the situation, what's happening to that passion is it's causing a conflict. This is sort of a negative expression of passion, if you like. So what we could ask is that passion that you still retain, which I feel you do, I suppose we can sort of ask, how can you make better use of that? How can you kind of transmute that passion? I think that might be a reasonable way to kind of clarify this reading and get something useful for you. Because I'm not all about getting under other people's energy all the time either anyway. It's just not what I really like to do, and it doesn't feel appropriate in this situation anyway to do that. It's more about what can you do with what's going on for you. And I see a kind of passion that's not always being the most positively expressed for you. So I think that's what we should look at. I think introspection's going to help you. Let's see. How can Aries kind of transmute this negative passion? That's a wordy question, isn't it? I know what I mean. King of Swords. Yeah, from the reverse King of Swords to the upright King of Swords. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? The Sun. Two more. A Knight of Swords and a Six of Pentacles. Okay. So there's some sort of issue here. If you think of it in terms of reciprocity and equal give and take, I just think Spirit's nudging you to look at this situation in terms of that and ask questions about whether there was equal give and take in this situation. And you're being asked to kind of take quite a logical look at that. It feels like you're being asked to kind of almost detach from this passion, actually. I think the universe is trying to tell me I was asking the wrong question. I have to be frank and say when I'm wrong. It's not that it's really about right and wrong, but I didn't quite ask that question in the best way. It's more about redirecting this passion, the passion that you had towards that. It's more about detaching from putting it towards that situation, because you can't anymore, because that situation doesn't exist anymore, and redirect it, I think. The swords there is what's giving me this idea of detaching, by the way, because I'd like to explain my process every now and then. But you're also being pointed towards asking questions about how reciprocal was this, how equal was the give and take in this situation that I've left behind. I mean, you've made quite a confident, clear-cut decision to leave it behind. I saw that anyway, and you're telling me it again with the Knight of Swords anyway. So, you know, I don't think that you even need to do huge amounts of work around this anyway. But if you're feeling you are, I don't know, these are the types of questions that it seems might be useful to you. But it feels like you made a good decision. I think you're probably even already aware of this, you know, that it wasn't the most fair situation. And then you've got a reversed Sun, which really does tell me that when you turn your passions towards something else, which is this new thing that you're anticipating, which is everything that was in your current energy anyway, which I feel you're in the main already doing, but I think maybe just at some points there's a tendency to slip back into putting energy, at least in some way, towards this. I think it's quite a lot of intellectual energy you're putting towards this, though, as well. Because it's just like wanting to get to the bottom of it and wanting to get to the bottom of this other energy, wanting to get to the bottom of that behaviour. Yeah. Probably prompted by this like emotional pain coming up quite a lot for you. But certainly this energy of the sun is available to you. The sun being the classic card of the happiest card, you know, the classic happiest card of the deck energy. But more importantly in this situation, because we've got a reverse Ace of Swords. Now look, the sun did come out in reverse also, so it is an incoming energy, and it is, I think it's more a case of this energy being available to you when you've kind of resolved this passion and energy that's somewhat still going towards this situation. But you know, it's only natural. Like, this situation obviously meant a lot to you. You don't just all of a sudden just magically withdraw all your energy from it. Well, maybe some people can, but actually I would be more worried about those people than I am about you and what I'm seeing here. It's natural to have to do quite a lot of processing in order to pull your energy away from that. It's all perfectly normal, and you're just beautiful, Aries. But what I do see coming in anyway is this lack of clarity that I feel you're experiencing, and you're going to continue to somewhat experience in your future here. This card is all about shining a light on things, and I often feel with this card, when we're shining a light on things, we start to see the truth, and it has come out next to two sword court cards that are carrying that ace, that sword of truth, which is reversed there, but it's upright here, and it's a progression as well. We start with the knight and we go to the king. So I do see you shedding more light on the truth of this situation. I say you. Is it you, though? More truth is going to be shed somehow, I think, on this situation. I don't exactly feel that I worded it correctly in saying that you are shedding more light on the situation, actually, though. Something external may come in, but I feel it's going to come in when you've sort of let go of putting your energy towards it, which is often the way. Either way, I mean, this is the card you finished your reading on. It's reversed, which to me just feels like an incoming energy. So it's a beautiful, warm, it just sits alongside this Queen of Pentacles so nicely. All these beautiful connections that you appear to be making in your current energy or about to make. A lot of growth is going to come out from them. A lot of happiness is going to come from them. A lot of abundance, a feeling of contentedness, and actually quite a feeling of freedom as well. And I feel like it's just going to give you more room. Like all these connections and this growth that I can see you going through, I just feel it's, I don't know how else to put it, it's just going to give you a bit more room to kind of breathe and be you and express openly and honestly in kind of your daily life. I feel like it's going to unlock that in you, because there's such a sense of freedom and liberation in this Sun card, which is the last card in your reading. And yeah, it just feels really freeing and opening. And I just see, it just looks really beautiful for you, Aries, okay? So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that made sense to you. I hope it gave you some useful things to think about, to kind of aid you in your life. And I hope you felt heard in the world as well, because that's one of my main aims as well with these readings. So like it if you like it. Like it if you liked it with that old thumbs up button. If you've not already subscribed, please do so. It will help me pick up on your energy for next time. Oh, and if you want to leave me a comment, I'd love that. If you want to explain what any of these energies look like for the 3D Aries that is watching, I would be very interested to find out. Okay, and not just because I'm nosy, which I am, I admit, but also because your experiences and your stories, if you share them in the comments, it just it helps other people who have been through similar Only if you feel safe to do so, obviously. All right, Aries, I will catch you next time. Thank you. Bye.